Now, if you follow my channel, you know that last month I reviewed the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14, all new for 2022. Big improvements across the board for that laptop. If you didn't see it, check out the link below. But I just received something from Asus that has me really excited as well. It's the Asus ROG Flow X13, an ultra portable 2-in-1 gaming laptop. Yes, it's a convertible. This is not something we see normally at every day. It's got an AMD Ryzen 6000 series processor. It's the 6900HS. It also has an RTX 3050 Ti GPU. It's in a thin and light package, but it doesn't stop there. You could also use it with their external GPU, the XG Mobile. It's got a gorgeous full HD display, 13.4 inches, 120 hertz refresh rate, absolutely gorgeous. Pen support, touch display. Really, this thing has blown me away. We're gonna talk about it and more in this video. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my unboxing and first look at the brand new Asus ROG Flow X13. Here for 2022. Coming up. Now, before we get to the unboxing, I want to let everybody know, in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by Asus. I'm not being sponsored by Asus. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. Asus is not getting copy approval. That means they're seeing this video for the first time, just like you. Now, this review unit is on loan from Asus, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. Now, you can get this over at Best Buy. The price is $1599.99. For those interested, I'll leave a link in the description below for more information and where you can buy one. And for that price, you get the AMD Ryzen 9 6900HS, 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, 1 terabyte of SSD storage, and the NVIDIA RTX 3050 Ti discrete graphics. But of course, this could also be used with the external XG Mobile. Now here you can see a chart showing the differences between last year's model and this year's model, the differences highlighted in red. And with that out of the way, let's find out what you get inside the box. Let's open it up. And lifting the lid, the laptop raises to greet you. I love that unboxing experience, once again here from Asus. And holding it for the first time, I gotta say it feels pretty premium. We're gonna get into that in a moment, but let's find out what else you get inside the box. You get a pretty compact 100-watt USB-C power adapter, and they give you the extension cord as well. And you get some documentation. Okay, let's get to the unit itself, and one thing I'm going to point out right away is the build quality. It's excellent on this. It's a magnesium alloy. It's very light at 1.3 kilograms or 2.87 pounds. That's pretty amazing considering this is packing an RTX 3050 Ti under the hood. I can't believe this is a gaming laptop. It's more like an ultra portable we normally see on the channel. But having said that, the build quality is excellent with very little flex or give in the chassis, which you like to see, and it has some raised grooves on it, giving you a nice grip. This way it won't slip out of your hands. So far, the design and the build quality are excellent. But with this black finish comes a lot of fingerprints, so you will be wiping it down quite a bit. And for those wondering, yes, you can open the lid with one finger. And of course, this is a convertible. It means you could put it into the different modes. We'll get into that a little bit later. And as far as the keyboard itself is concerned, so far looking good. Good tactile feedback, good key travel, despite the fact that it is an ultra portable, thin and light, not something we normally see. So that's a positive sign right there. And this is what it sounds like when you're typing on it. And it has a multi-stage backlight. The keys light up white here. There's no RGB lighting on this, which I kind of like actually. Gives it a more classy look. And the white against the black keys actually is easy to see. So we don't have that issue we have with silver on white and all that stuff. So good to see that here as well. And it has a pretty nice precision touchpad that I thought was very responsive. All the gestures working as you'd expect. So far, so good as far as this touchpad is concerned. Okay, let's check out the ports. On the left side, underneath that rubber strip that is removable, is a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 port, and next to that is your proprietary port for the XG Mobile external GPU. That's an option you might want to go with. Next to that is an HDMI 2.0B port, and finally a 3.5 millimeter microphone headphone combo jack to round out the ports on the left side. And moving over to the right side is your power button. Next to that is a USB-A 3.2 Gen 2 port. Next to that is a second USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 port. By the way, both USB-C ports do support data, charge, and display out. Now, according to sources at Asus, they will update this to USB-C 4 sometime later this year through a software update. Stay tuned. Notably missing is an SD card reader, and I'm not surprised. This is an ultra portable, thin and light. They had to leave some things off, so understandable. But what's really interesting is that XG Mobile external GPU also is a hub that gives you a lot of extra ports, in addition to the fact that it gives you an external powerful GPU. So I like the options that that brings. Now, to get inside this laptop, you need to remove 11 Phillips head screws. Once you do that, use a guitar pick or a pry tool to pry off the bottom plate. And once you do that, you're in. Now, right off the bat, you'll notice that the RAM is soldered into the motherboard. That means as the user, you cannot upgrade it yourself. My review unit has 16 gigabytes of LP DDR5 RAM running in dual channel mode. But the SSD is user upgradable, but what's interesting is they're using the smaller form factor, the 2230, as opposed to the normal size SSD, so that's something to keep in mind. But my unit has 1 terabyte of SSD storage, and as you can see from these reads and writes, very good speeds, although they are Gen 3 speeds, as you notice here, not the faster Gen 4 we've been seeing here in 2022. Pretty interesting. But these are fast speeds nonetheless. Most people won't notice any difference. Now, this has Wi-Fi 6E, which is good to see, along with a Bluetooth 5.2 combo card, and that card is slotted in. Unlike last year, where it was soldered into the motherboard, this can be replaced down the road. I like that change. And while we're inside, you'll notice the 2 fans for cooling, and I still have a lot more testing to do, but my initial benchmarks so far have shown that the surface temperatures are not overly hot. So if you're going to use it on your lap, you're not going to burn your skin on it, at least not in my initial testing. But of course, I still have a lot more testing to do, so please keep that in mind. And finally, you'll notice that 62 watt-hour battery. That's the same as the 2021 model, and I still have to do my testing on that, of course. Having it less than 24 hours, I can't give you any gauge on it just yet, but I'm hoping for decent battery life. Again, stay tuned. Those numbers will be coming very soon. All right, let's talk display, and that is the star of the show, in my opinion. It is excellent. It is a 13.4-inch IPS display with 120 hertz refresh rate. Yes, that's going to be great for gaming with the smooth scrolling. It's all there. Really, really smooth and fluid, and that's what you gotta love. It's also a 16:10 aspect ratio, so if you're not gaming, you want to get work done on this ultra portable, you can because of that taller nature. You'll see more in the display. You'll do less scrolling when it comes to web browsing, and that's always good. It's got a scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass touchscreen, and it does work with a pen. I was able to use it with my 2nd-gen Surface Pen, which I've had for years already, and that worked with no problem. Taking notes, sketching at artwork can be great with this convertible as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And it's a very bright display coming in at 500 nits, which is great, especially if you're going to be using this outdoors, you have no issues. It is a little bit of a glossy display, but not very glossy, but glossy nonetheless. So in direct sunlight, you may have a little bit of glare, so just keep that in mind. But it has some really deep blacks with a 0.42 black levels, good white point, excellent contrast. It also has a really nice Delta E score of 1.59. That means this is color accurate. Anything below 2 is considered color accurate, and it has decent coverage of the color gamut. 100% sRGB, 74% Adobe RGB, 74% of the DCI P3 wide color gamut, 68% NTSC. So is this the greatest thing for the content creator? Not really, but this is not who this is geared towards. You're looking at the gaming, you're looking at that 120 hertz refresh rate. That's where this panel shines. But it is a Pantone calibrated display. Keep that in mind. It's also a Dolby Vision HDR display, and it also has adaptive sync, which is supported. So watching high dynamic range content on YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, and the like has been excellent on this display. So this is the front-facing camera on the Asus ROG Flow X13. It's a 2-in-1 convertible gaming laptop. Yeah, very unusual. This is the second generation. We saw it last year. This is the follow-up. It's running a 6000 series Ryzen processor from AMD. It's got an RTX 3050 Ti, but of course you can always connect it to that external GPU for really great graphics performance. Hopefully I'll get a chance to check that out very soon. I don't have one yet, hopefully soon. And it also has a 720p webcam. Actually, not too bad for a 720p webcam. Wish it was a 1080p here in 2022, but it's a gaming laptop at the end of the day. It is ultra portable, and this will be good enough to do the Zoom calls and your work from home hybrid work needs. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, the pen does work with this. This is my second gen, I think, Surface Pen here, and it does work on this, so it does have pen support for those wondering. I'm curious to know what you think. Again, let me know how the video quality is. How is the audio quality? Let me know. All right, let's talk about the audio, and it's actually pretty good, better than I expected on a thin and light gaming laptop like we have here. Not high expectations coming into this, but with the Dolby Atmos, you get the enhanced spatial audio, which you like to see. The volume was pretty decent, and there was some bass, and the mids were decent as well. Let's give it a listen to see how the sound quality is. And this has the Armory Crate application, which gives you a lot of useful information. It also has the Mux Switch controller, which allows you to go between the hybrid graphics or the discrete only graphics, which gives you a little bit more power, a little bit more performance. We'll talk about that in the full review. But this Armory Crate application is actually working really well. You can go between the different modes, and when you're plugged in, you can even go to the turbo mode where the fans really ramp up. Not quite as loud as the Zephyrus G14 that we looked at, but loud nonetheless. And here's just an initial sampling of how loud the fans get. Okay, let's talk about the processor. This is running the AMD Ryzen 9 6900HS, the same one we saw on the ROG Zephyrus G14 that I recently reviewed. And it's a really nice processor, a nice upgrade from last year. It has 8 cores, 16 threads. It also has 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, as I mentioned earlier. And as you can see, very impressive numbers with the benchmark so far. Now, things for everyday use like Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, consuming media, watching Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, all work flawlessly. Now, I haven't had it long enough to do any gaming tests just yet, less than 24 hours, but with the RTX 3050 Ti discrete GPU, you can definitely game on it as you see from these numbers. And if you want to go for that external XG Mobile GPU, which also acts as a hub, that's another way to get enhanced graphics on this. I like the versatility that this brings. We'll talk more about that very soon. I hope to be getting in an XG Mobile so I can test out those enhanced graphics. Okay, let's wrap it up. After 24 hours, what do I think about the Asus ROG Flow X13 here for 2022? I am super impressed with it. I love the fact that you're getting a gaming laptop in an ultra portable form factor. That's not something we see every day. I like its bright, sharp 13.4-inch IPS display, 120 hertz, that also supports pen, by the way, which is great. Ultra portable gaming laptop that is sleek and modern looking. USB-C 4 coming later this year through a software update, so that's something to look forward to. Good audio out of the speakers with the Dolby Atmos for the enhanced spatial audio. Optional XG Mobile GPU/hub is hopefully coming to the studio. I'm speaking to Asus. I will give you those numbers and functionality when it does come to the studio. Ryzen 9 6900HS has been performing very well with the included RTX 3050 Ti discrete graphics. A nice combination, especially on an ultra portable. Decent 720p webcam. That's not something we normally see. Even though it's not 1080p, I thought it was actually pretty decent. It also sounded pretty good too. And it's got LPDDR5 RAM here this time around, which is better. Now, the things I'm not so crazy about, slower PCIe Gen 4 SSD speeds. We saw that with the G14 that I looked at from the Zephyrus line. Same here. And I'm not surprised that the RAM is not upgradable on this, but that's because it's a thin and light laptop, but it would have been nice to have upgradable RAM. Maybe I'm wishful thinking on my part. Then we also get the fans that are pretty loud in the turbo mode, which is not unexpected, but in silent mode, pretty much silent, which is what you'd expect. So that's been pretty good. And even in performance mode, the fans would kick in intermittently. We'll talk more about that in the full review, as I'll give you all the thermal breakdown on this as well. Now at $15.99, it's not the most expensive out there, especially for what you're getting, but it is not cheap either, and it can get expensive if you do get that XG Mobile external GPU option. But there's a lot to like here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to putting it through its paces over the next few days and bring you my full review. That will be coming very soon. So what do you think about this bad boy, the X13? And I gotta say, they've done a really good job here. Very thin and light, super build on this, really nice, rock solid build construction, nice design. It's got like grooves on it, really nice feeling, good grip in your hands. Really nice port selection also. And again, you can use it with the external XG GPU. And now hopefully I'll be getting that in soon. But it does have a built-in GPU, the RTX 3050 Ti from NVIDIA, and it performed pretty well, especially for such a thin and light laptop. AMD Ryzen 9 6900HS, 8 cores, 16 threads. You saw the numbers. My initial benchmarks look good. I'm going to put it through its paces. I'm going to do all my gaming on this, test the thermals, test the efficiency, of course, and of course the battery life on this. We'll see how that all holds up with my testing. So far, I think it's looking pretty decent. We'll get, again, I'll bring you all that very soon. Now, it does have a beautiful 13.4-inch full HD display, 120 hertz. That's 1920 by 1200. Love the fact that it is a 16:10 aspect ratio. That means you'll do less scrolling when it comes to web browsing. You'll see more on the display. So looking good so far, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot to test on it, so stay tuned. That will be coming very soon. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, my website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.